in Sedapet on Friday. Authorities in Coimbatore have demolished a wall of shame that denied Dalit families access to the city's main road. This wall was allegedly built by upper caste people 20 years ago as a part of a temple encroaching government land, but Dalits say it was only a pretext to close the road. 2 years ago, a similar discriminatory wall was brought down in Madurai district. Solution to the traffic woes in Chennai, according to traffic police, is converting high roads as one-ways. Most recent additions to the existing one-ways of Chennai were made on Saturday when TTK Road, Kavingar Bharatidasan Junction, TTK Road, Bhimanna Mudali Junction and CP Ramasamy Road, CV Raman Junction, as well as CP Ramasamy Road, Bhimanna Mudali Junction were converted as one-ways. NDTV's Hindus Salim reports.
In the last 1 year alone, nearly 2 lakh vehicles have already have added to the already existing traffic on the city's roads, but the road space remained the same and hence adding the congestion in the city's traffic. Now the city traffic department has taken initiative to make 4 important junctions near Alvapet as the one way. But the city traffic police are very clear. They say they are not going to charge the residents for the next 2 weeks until they get used to the new traffic diversions in the city.
Well, it remains to be seen if these one-ways become a boon or a bane. Moving on, Lakshmi Nagar in Madipakam continues to face an acute water shortage despite numerous complaints sent to the authorities. Residents are forced to turn elsewhere for their water supply. The Panchayat board is neither fixing the problem nor giving a valid reason. Residents say the Panchayat is hostile when they approach for a solution. The taps installed by the Panchayats on the road too have gone dry for a long time. Nightlife in Chennai did not cease even on the day the father of the nation fell to an assassin's bullet. On Martyrs' Day, though the state-run bars and pubs remained closed, Chennaiites remembered the Mahatma with a peg at private bars, which saw a packed Saturday night. That's all at the moment. Back to Chennai Speaks Out with Sanjay Pinto.
If there's something rotten on the streets of Chennai, who is responsible, the civic authorities or we the people? If 100 tons of garbage accumulate on the Marina Beach, a beach that we all love and are all very proud of, who is responsible? We the people or the civic authorities? If our waterways are polluted, who is responsible? We or the civic authorities? Is Chennai a civic conscious city? That's our topic today. To debate more, we've got Raj Cherubal, coordinator of City Connect. We've got Professor Anuthaman from the Center for Water Resources of Anna University. Mr. M.V. Nirmal, somebody who needs no introduction, founder of Exnora. Mr. Tirunjana Sambandam, Vice President of Neil Metal Finalka. If the garbage is cleared or not cleared outside your homes, he's responsible. In fact, students, professors, the principal of a college, most people who are very, very civic conscious, I'm sure. But let me get cracking with Raj. 100 tons of garbage on the Marina Beach after Kanum Pongal. It's almost like bogey after Pongal.
It's fashionable today to say that we are a non-civic, unconscious, however you want to put it. Yeah, I'll argue that yes, we are not civic conscious. But my point is, why? You do a study, you put garbage bins in the right place, you put checks and balances so that 90% of the people will put in the right place.
All right, Mr. Tirunjana Sambandam, is it because on Kanum Pongal, surely you can put more garbage bins on the Marina Beach when you know year after year it's the same old story like a template playing out in Chennai? Yeah. Why can't you put more garbage bins?
Thank you. In fact, we put bins, more bins, and also we put a very big hookah bins also. I think it has gone beyond expectations. We never thought that so much thing would come compared to last year. And okay, I can say that without civic conscious, we cannot be like this. There is civic conscious. Certainly,
you're being politically correct. I mean, you're just being politically correct. You probably want your contract to be renewed after a few years.
I'm not talking as a Neil Metal Finalka person or something like that. What I'm trying to say is...
I want you to talk as a person from Neil Metal Finalka, somebody who does that, who plays that role.
From the age of 11, I am in city. So I know how the city is growing. I'm basically from a village place. Such things are even taught at a village how to be civic conscious. But honestly, most of them have children here. Are we teaching that to the children now? If you take that so, people have come all the way. That is a poor man's land. That beach is a poor man's land. If you come With the bus fare, you can come, enjoy and go with full
Throw the bus
satisfaction.
tickets also there.
Huh?
Throw the bus tickets also on the...
Yeah. So much people have come on that day. We have to see how this can be addressed to. I have got about 60, 70 numbers of people whom are regularly calling me every day that this is there, that is there, you're not removed. And they say at the end, sorry for this. I said, no, it's my pleasure. As Mahatma Gandhi said, customer is the important person on your premises. I put all of them name as eco-genes. This is my beginning. I have put as eco-gene, Shanta, something like that. So there is a concept of civic conscience which is growing now. Is it sufficient to take up the 60 lakh of people is the question.
Mr. Nirmal, fines, we talk of, fines. I think even the corporation started imposing fines on people who in fact drop garbage or, drop papers or whatever on the beach. Is this working? Are fines an effective deterrent?
Further, I want to say something with regard to the beach you said. The question is whether Chennai, but the people there, 90% not Chennaites. The people from, so many buses, they all came. They want to enjoy, as I said, poor man's. And dustbins were there, but it's a human ocean. You wouldn't know where the dustbin
It is a sea of humanity virtually on
sea of humanity. Okay, just one. So the point is, the people, Chennai, they know to some extent because of Exnor and other Neil Metal, we have been educating them. The people outside, they are not aware you should not litter an open space. But as I've been...
But he says in the villages also people are well, and that's what he says just now.
No, it has been taught, but when you say...
But Mr. Nirmal says people are not aware.
If you take some villages, many villages, there is no solid waste management system in its place. I want to say that. People are not aware. You are seeing everywhere, any open land, they go and dump garbage, ponds and water bodies. You go see all the water bodies around Chennai. They are full of muck and garbage. So, but answering this, what is it asked about the fines?
Are fines an effective deterrent?
Actually, fine is a kind of a motivation, negative motivation. I'll give an example, parallel. The government said non-wearing of helmet will attract fine. And I found everybody was wearing helmet. Then
even today it attracts fine, but nobody really, the police is actually looking the other way.
Because the government asked them to
Go soft on this.
Go soft on that. And nobody wears it. And somebody, my friend was wearing, somebody said, come on, why you need to wear? They think it's for, to comply the government rule. It's not for, that awareness is
Show of hands from the audience, how many of you believe that, you should be fined if you litter on the roads or on public places? Most of you. Would all of you pay fines if that's the case, or would you protest? Would pay. All right, ma'am, to you first. Is there a stigma attached to littering garbage on the roads?
I believe that awareness programs should be started. It's high time, because way back, that is when I was studying in 60s, in schools they teach us about the civic sense, different types of civic sense like road rules, keeping the city clean, how to behave in a public place, all these things. But nowadays, lessons regarding the civic sense is nil.
Finding these people, offenders, may give some result.
Yes, sir. The next.
I am Siva Subramanian. I am a civil engineer from Railways. Basically, the cleanliness, it should be from within. So that is the biggest drawback in our society. See, we don't even, I'm not generalizing it. People are not clean conscious. See, we study about brushing twice a day, morning and night. See, I travel a lot in train. I don't find any of people who brush at night. I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised. So it is. I'm
probably
telling.
because the trains are not clean enough, so they're reluctant. Is that the case?
No, it is. See, whatever be it.
How
See,
clean are the toilets, sir? Since you represent the railways, how clean are your toilets?
no, it is now. It is better. Now it is. No. I'm telling you, because it has been outsourced. It has been outsourced.
So
it
the
is.
railways doesn't have anything to do with it.
No, it is. See, it's a bigger organization.
I want to ask you, since you're from the railways, and I'm glad you've come on the show. Okay. About 100 plus trains pass through the Chennai Central every day. There are about 1.5 lakh passengers.
Yeah.
The Southern Railway spent about 3.11 crore rupees on a mechanized garbage clearance scheme, right? But you also try to impose fines. But we still know the state, the pathetic conditions of our railway stations and our trains, and probably that's why people don't brush their teeth twice a day.
And I give an example. Last week I
So why did you mechanize in the first place? You spent 3 crore of public money on cleaning up your stations and trains. How many of you believe that that money was well spent? Show of hands, nobody. One person, okay.
I tell you.
You're also from the railways. Okay. Yes.
No, but honestly, I tell you, maybe in the past it was so. But if you see now, all the trains are spick and span, and even the bed sheet and rolls, whatever they do, they are really good.
No,
They're
there has
really
been
good.
improvement,
That is one
but
thing.
Still a long way to go, when you would say.
Second thing, all the floors and all, it's very clean. And if you see this, now the station, Central Station, it's going to be an international station. It's going to be a world-class station. They are making it. And maybe outside, like...
That's, Raj, I want to ask you, see, a lot of even the airports, you say ISO 2001, 9001 and all that, these are flashy titles. You have universities saying 5-star status. Now we know like so many have been blacklisted. All right, now, these are titles which we are very proud about getting, but do we live up to that? I mean, he's talking about...
Here's the problem, yeah. Every society, when the systems don't function, human beings, citizens start accusing each other. We'll say, you need awareness, I need awareness. Nobody here is against awareness. I teach my children awareness. I teach them to look left and right before they cross the road. I can guarantee SIT teaches their children a lot of moral science. We have had enough of moral science and civic thing. Systems doesn't function, no amount of moral science is going to help us.
I think the problem more lies with us at individual level. Let me just ask you one simple question. How many of us keep the cleanest bucket in the loo, in the house actually? Is it not always the dirtiest one?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, a student need to be sensitized. What I mean by sensitization is not giving them one-day program. It should be a continuous process.
You probably have environment day program, you will call the press, you will have a photograph thing, principal will post for a photograph.
Not that. Because one example I'd like to quote, I'm not an ambassador for Abacus or KFI school. The children from KFI and Abacus, they are far better than the other school children because it's really enviro-friendly and animal-friendly. They really encourage the girls. How many schools have tree? Some schools don't even have one tree in their campus. So I feel it should be inculcated in school level. It cannot be done on one-day basis.
Professor Anuthaman, awareness the key here?
Awareness is there, but I do not know in what angle I have to talk because I am a civil engineer, civic authority, teacher, researcher, consultant. So basically I like to analyze from 4 points: the sensitivity, stability, rights and responsibility. As rightly pointed out by my friend who takes care of garbage, we as civil engineers, civic authority prepared a base for you to enjoy the festival holidays as pointed out here. We prepared a base, right? We are prepared for everything because we know you have a right to enjoy. But it's your responsibility. Now when he asked how many of you are prepared to pay the fine, you raised. Individually we are all sensitive. But when it comes to mob, when it comes to a group, you like to enjoy, you have become more animalistic. So that is where awareness is there individually, but when it's a group, the majority takes.
Collective responsibility, okay, yes ma'am.
Awareness or counseling is not going to help where poverty and illiteracy proliferates, right? Because if you are going to tell a person, be aware, be clean, he should have a space in his brain to think of all this. He is not even getting his basic needs. Only people who are sufficient and well to do with their basic needs can think of all this.
People remember me, they see garbage, that's how I have grown. I am there in 24 years. When I start exploring, every street will have heaps and piles. It's not there. I find people, there can be exception. By and large, streets are clean. Now, where we feel we have to go a long way, we say waste is not waste until it's wasted. People need to do source segregation. That's the only point.
That's reason enough for, in fact, to slide into a short break on SL Chennai Speaks Out. When we come back, we'll talk about segregation of garbage. Whose responsibility is that?